Hi, welcome to the Holy Jolly Life. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make carrot cake. So whenever I was learning to cook, whenever I first started out, I found it very helpful if people told me what I needed to do first. So the first step whenever you're making carrot cake, and this carrot cake does involve real carrots, is you take your carrots and you're going to peel them and then you're going to shred them. And that just helps to just do that first and get that out of the way. I've peeled and cut I've peeled my carrots, washed them, cut the ends of them off, and now I'm just gonna process them. We need this to be 2 cups. I just don't think there's any way that you can do this that doesn't make a mess. Work. There we go. 1 and well, I'm just making a mess everywhere. Ta-da! 2 cups of carrots. The recipe that I'm going to be using is actually from the Pioneer Woman. And it calls for 2 cups of granulated sugar, 1 cup of vegetable oil, 4 whole eggs, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon. I actually use a tablespoon of ground cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of salt, and 2 cups of grated carrots, and we have that already. It also says butter for greasing, but I don't use the butter and flour to grease my pan because I use parchment paper, and I'm going to make it in a 9x13 pan. So I preheated the oven to 350 degrees, and now I'm going to mix together the sugar, oil, and eggs. We need 4 whole eggs, a cup of oil, and a cup of sugar. It says to use vegetable oil, but I'm out, so I'm actually going to be using this extra light tasting olive oil, which I use a lot. It's definitely more cost effective to use the vegetable oil, so if you have that on hand, I would use it if I were you. But it's also better for your health to use the olive oil, so just pick. So 2 cups of sugar. Make it where I can see the bowl. Go. 2 cups of sugar. I'm gonna go ahead and put the flour in here because why not? I just put the flour in here so that I could use my measuring cup while it was still dry. That is gorgeous. Okay, next step. Two cups flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda. Baking powder, baking soda. Where is my teaspoon? Way back here. That was baking soda. Baking powder. Half a teaspoon of this, salt. That's about right. And a tablespoon of this. Which is cinnamon, and that might be all we have left in this container. Now in her recipe it says to sift all that, but it turns out just fine without sifting it. No unnecessary steps unless we just have to. Okay. Preheat. And I guess if we just had to, then it wouldn't be unnecessary, because then it would be necessary. Okay, the end. Mix together, blah, 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 blah. We did that. Baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, salt. Okay, add the flour mixture to the sugar mixture and combine. Then add carrots and mix well. What am I doing? I don't know. We are going to just theme song. Mix this. Whenever I go back and edit my videos, I'm always like, ah, the counter was messy. I didn't wipe it down in between. I'm trying to do better about that. Then we're going to add in the carrots. These carrots are so pretty. Mix it up. This is really thick, almost like a cookie dough. It's a pretty simple recipe. 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of carrots. And all the rest of the stuff that makes a cake. Oil and eggs. Baking powder. Baking soda. Go. Well, I've got the cake in the oven. I wanted to go ahead and show you how to make the icing, okay? We start with a stick of butter. I'm using salted butter because that's what I have on hand, and you know how I feel about that. Use what you have on hand. In her recipe, she calls for finely chopped up pecans. That would be fine if you had them and the people in your family liked them and there were no allergies. We don't have pecans, we only have walnuts, and my kids are not big fans of nuts. Well, it's divided. Some of them like nuts, some of them don't. So I'm just not putting them this time. The recipe will be the same. You just add the nuts if you like them. This bag of powdered sugar is 2 pounds. There we go, like that. 2 pounds of powdered sugar, and it calls for 1 pound, so I'm guessing. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. My mom taught me to use these to measure with because they're for measuring liquid. I usually just use whatever, but those are a lot easier to pour. It always helps if the person that's teaching you how to do something teaches you how to do it right. In this case, I did not. So let's pray I don't choke to death on all the parchment that are supposed to be up in the air. Come on, get on down. So obviously I messed up, but it's still probably going to be delicious. Just do better than me and don't mess up whenever you make yours. Learn from my mistakes. Oh, that's definitely not supposed to happen. It's fantastic though. I promise I've made this before. It's just been a long time. Oh my gosh. Here's my eventual success. That was hilarious. I don't care here. Okay, here we go. Let me show you how to do this. Oops, I did it wrong. Laugh at me if you will. That's pretty good right there, if I do say so myself. That's the timer for our cake. It's beautiful.